Recently Megyn Kelly on Fox News made a statement saying that there's people out there that say Santa Claus should not be white, and that we can't just change history or historical facts, like she would say, just because it makes someone uncomfortable. And then she went on saying that, well, Jesus was white too, but that doesn't mean we change the historical figure or physical attributes, so on and so on. And I'm not someone who sit around and watch all this political shit all day, because it'd be quite frank about it, I think it's complete bullshit. I think us as Americans, we have to start mobilizing and doing things for ourselves, because we have people who run this country who don't give a damn about us as Americans. We saw that with the government shutdown. We have people out here who show favoritism to certain ethnicities. So it's just time for everybody to just really start making their own moves and using this system against itself. But when I heard this whole thing about the Santa Claus thing, to be honest with you, I can give two fucks about whether Santa Claus is white or black. And I'm going to tell you why. Santa Claus is not real. I think, we live in a day and time where there's a lot of things going on, and we need to focus on things that are real and are going to affect us later down in life if we don't correct it right now, especially within the black community. I knew at 5 years old that Santa Claus is not real. My family sat me down like, hey, our parents try to, play into the whole system or whatever, because you do want your kids to have an imagination and, participate in the things that other kids participate, as long as it's not detrimental to their mind or their lives. But, my family sat me down and was like, hey, this shit is not real, because I always been one of those kids. I would like to take things apart and figure out how it worked and investigate things. I wasn't one of those kids that just was told what to do and didn't investigate, or if I felt like something didn't sound right, I'm just gonna go along with it. I always was taught to question things, and my parents sat me down, told me the history of Santa Claus and where it all came from, and how it was really just a marketing tactic for certain business corporations to earn money. That's basically what it is. But it's really pathetic that you got people out here arguing about whether Santa Claus is black or white. Now I can get why there's some people out here say, okay, well, why does Santa Claus have to be white? And then I saw in the clip that, which the clip will be in the description box, you guys want to check it out, but I saw in the clip that someone was saying that, well, the figure of Christmas should not be a white Santa Claus, it should be a penguin, and I can understand that, because when you look at the penguin, it identifies with the type of weather around Christmas time. Penguins are black and white, when we want to look at it from a color aspect. And I get that, and I understand why some people might say, okay, well, why does, Santa Claus or these historical figures that we all represent as Americans have to always be white? I do understand it, but at the same time, you have to question whether this is really something that we need to be debating about. There's far more important things to worry about than some bullshit overweight man called Santa Claus that so-called gonna come down your chimney and leave presents in the middle of the night. It's bullshit. Now, when it comes to Jesus and us celebrating certain images that we relate to biblical scriptures or biblical figures, that I think is more of a topic of substance, because religion has always been used to control people, especially black folks. It's always been used to control us and to psychologically plant in your mind who you should fear and who you should idolize. And when we look at people like, you know, the physical attribute of a so-called Jesus, what white folks is put out there for us to believe is Jesus, appearing like blonde, blue eye, you know, pointy nose, that type of image. What that does is that you have Hispanics, you have black folks, people of other ethnicities that say, well, if Jesus is white and Jesus was, had blonde hair and blue eyes, well, then I should psychologically idolize white people because they reflect the image of my Lord and Savior. So I can see how that topic would be something more of substance and something that we should sit down and say, well, maybe, we should make a law where you cannot put Jesus or God in a physical form. You know, let that be what, just let it just be out in the open. Let's not put a physical image to that. So I can see how that would be more detrimental to people of other ethnicities, especially black people. You know, but I think it's just time that, you know, we start picking and choosing what is of substance and what we need to take concern of, because people, you know, go out here and talk about stuff that really doesn't matter. You know, people are talking about, oh, well, just like Megyn Kelly was like, oh, kids, remember, Santa Claus is a white man. Jesus is a white man. You know, basically putting out there that, you know, I don't care what these Negroes say or anybody else say, Santa Claus is a white man. When really, it's fake. It's not real. You know, so I want to say, you know, for kids out there that might be listening to me, it's not real. Santa Claus is your parent or your parents or your family, whoever supports you, people that make sure your life is productive. Put food on your table every night. Put clothes on your back. You know, show you around Christmas time that, you know, they're going to give you a gift. And not to mention that, you know, Christmas is not about gifts and presents. It's about, you know, celebrating the life of Jesus Christ. You know, that's what it's really about. And it's about, you know, us just sharing and, you know, doing something kind for someone. But it's your parents who are Santa Claus. It's not some big, fat, overweight dude that comes down the chimney and leaves gifts. It's your parents. Though that's the real Santa Claus. So, you know, I just think it's important for, you know, us to really, you know, stop trying to leave our kids in a fog, you know, because we live in a society now where, you know, kids at 5 and 6 years old have to be aware of racism and judgment and discrimination, because that's just the world we're living in right now. But, you know, I mean, that's my opinion on, you know, I don't give a shit, you know, whether Santa Claus is black or white, because to be honest with you, it's not real, it's fake. You know, and I think there's far more important things that we should be focusing on besides the image of a fake historical figure. But you guys can give me your feedback on this if, you know, you heard about it, or if you guys want to check out the clip in the description box. But I'm out. Peace.